Hello everybody, this is Carol from Savner Epoxy Designs. I went ahead and I calculated what I thought I would need. I'm now, keep in mind these are 30 ml, but I'm only want to fill them halfway because I'm going to put the flowers in them, and then I want to put a top coat on that. So I'm going to see if I can get away with it. I'll try to do it all in one step, but I haven't done, I have not worked with these yet, so I want to see how I feel about it. This one right here, I have this in here in the warm bath, and you can see all the bubbles are rising, and I'm just going to give it a spritz every now and again as they're coming up, and then that's going to help eliminate them. And I'll just give it just like a little mix, just so that it'll move them a little. And I want to make sure that I'm not seeing any lines in there. Because if I have any lines, like they kind of look like string in there, that's going to tell you that you're not mixed well enough. So I'll mix that. There we go. So I'm going to just take this out of the bath, put this away. Okay, and what I want to do is I'm going to just wipe this because I don't want to get any water at all. Whoop, I just realized I was out of camera. So sorry. So I'm just wiping this off just to get all the water off before I pour it into this cup. So I'm just going to put this right here. And I'm going to pour, maybe about half of this. Okay. Put that on the side. I think I'm going to make this go out a little bit. There we go. So you can see a little better. There we go. Okay, so I'm just letting this sit for a little bit because of the bubbles. And what I did was I picked out some flowers over here, and I have some backups just in case, because I'm not sure exactly what's going to fit down inside of these little crevices. So I might have to use the really tiny ones. So I'm not sure. So we'll give it a whirl and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to put this on the side. And I'm going to take this and I am going to add the gold fleck in here. I do want to put the gold fleck in these as well, but I just want that gold fleck to be really thinned out. This doesn't have to be as much. So I'm going to just put it in this, and then what I have left over I'll incorporate with the other. Let me put that in, put that one in, oh, and maybe that one. Okay, now let's see what happens. And then just start mixing it up, and it will break up. And if it doesn't, if you get a big clump in there, then you just need to get something and kind of break it up with like a stick or a, tweezers or whatever. Okay, so I just want to look and make sure that I don't have any big clumpy things in here. Get this down in there. And I'm just going to mix it so that it kind of breaks up a little bit more. Okay. I think I might want to put a little more in it. So let me grab this. That's a little too much. But it's really sticky. So just be aware of that as you're using it. It's kind of like, you know, when you have that dress on in the middle of winter at Christmas time, you know, and it's stuck to your pantyhose, you know, us old people. Well, there you go. There you have it. Same thing. So let me move that out of the way. All right. Put this in here. So I hope everybody is doing well today and every day, actually. It's a crazy world we're living in right now. So my prayers are with you. Ah! But we have to laugh, right? Because if you don't laugh, you'll go crazy. So I want to get that all mixed up really well and broken up. Make sure I don't have any big chunks in there because I'm going to pour it on this, onto the back of this, so it's going to give it another layer. Because I wanted to give it that little bit of a pizzazz. These are dry already. These are from before. But if you look at this one, these look like they're pretty well up above the edge. This one isn't. So I might just give a little, like, I'll show you. Put a little dab on there. Just to kind of even it out. And then this way, it will be more at the same level as the others, because it looked like I shortchanged this guy. Okay, so we got all that, and now I'm just going to let that go. Okay, and then now I'm going to just pour this in here. Bad camera angle. Oh, if it was gold, we'd be all going to Tahiti. That sure would be nice. Okay, so I have that in there, and I'm just going to scrape it. Sorry, pardon my, you know, bottom there, but it's hard for me to do that angle. Okay, so now I'm just going to scooch this over. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this. Let me move that out of the way. And I'm going to get one of these guys. And I just like them because they have that, they're silicone. So they work really well with, you know, when you're working with this. And I'm just getting it into all the corners and making sure that I'm at all of the edges all the way around. Because you'd be surprised sometimes when you're coming around the edge, you might think oh yeah, it looks good. And then when you take it out, you find out that you might have missed a little area. So I like to go through it and just make sure that it's all the way up against the edge. And it looks good. And actually, I'm going to do this. As you can see right here, I overfilled it. So, and I could take care of this later as well, but just so you're aware. And now this gold fleck, or whatever fleck, you know, this that you're using, just remember that it's going to move around. So you might want to come back now and again and just, you know, give it a look-see and make sure that they didn't all go to the middle or anything like that. And then, you know, it may not look like what you thought it would look like. Okay, so that's that. And that's done. I'm going to just push this to the side. Very cool. And now I'm going to pull these over here. The more I'm thinking about it, I don't know about that fleck. I kind of like it, but I think it might be too big for this. So let me try something different. Let me see what I have on the shelf. Oh, this would be pretty. we'll use this gold. It's just it's like a glitter, but it's an iridescent. But we're just going to put a very tiny bit. I don't want a lot in this. I may not even put a full scoop. That's good. I just want it to have a little bit of a shimmer, but I don't want to, you know, have it be all kind of loud. Okay. Let me see in the light. Maybe a little tiny smidge more. I don't even want a full one. I just want like a little tiny bit, but I'm afraid to give it too much. All right, let's try that. Oh yeah, that's good. So you can see it's just got just a little bit of a shimmer. Okay. I hope Santa brings me one of those air bubble things. They vibrate and you put your cup on it. That'd be awesome. Okay. Now let's take a look at these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour just a little bit into the mold first. Now keep in mind that when you're looking at these molds, you have to decide what is the good side, what is, you know, what is underneath. And what I do, I look at this and I think, okay, well, this is going to be the base, and this is going to be the cross that goes into the base. So when you look at the cross, you can actually see this is the front. Okay, so which means when you're going to be looking at this, that's going down into the middle of the base, which means this is what you're going to see. So keep that in mind, that you're actually putting it in upside down. If that makes sense. You'll see. Okay, so first I'm going to give a spritz. Actually, oh, okay, it was on the back. I'm going to give this one a spritz. And what I'm going to do actually is, let me get one of my syringes. Okay, so I'm going to suck this up inside the syringe because I think it'll give me a little bit more control. Okay. And always, you know, wipe it, especially if you're working on more than one project, so you don't end up having it go into everything. So first I'm going to do the crosses first. So I'm just going to put in enough to give it a base, because that is what I need the flowers to stick to. And just make sure you get all the way down to the bottom. And we do the same with this one. I don't want to fill them yet. I want to put the flowers in. I'm going to do the same with the base. There we go. And just, I'm putting like the first layer. Okay, I'm going to put that on the side for a second. I'm going to take this, actually I'm going to take this little one, and I'm just going to go along the edges of the inside of the mold just gently kind of scrape up against it and then push the resin back into the spot, because otherwise sometimes you'll get little bubbles trapped there and you won't know it until you already have it, like our poor turtle. So I'm trying to just make sure I get as many out as I can. And I'm doing this now because I'm going to be putting those flowers in it, and I can't do it once the flowers are in. So I just want to get these. I can see like right here, there's little bubbles. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but there's little bubbles right there. Okay, and that's that. And you can see the little bubbles that came out. There's a couple right here. There's a couple right there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this, but I'm going to go around in a circle. But you have to make sure that you're pushing that back up against the silicone, because if you don't, you could end up making it worse. So just make sure that you are all the way up against there and that you don't have any bubbles that you can see, at least with your eye. Okay, so I can see these are starting to rise now. You see there's one there. Now here's a good thing for you here to see. See right here? Just so happen to look down and I see this little tiny eyelash. So it's just something just to keep an eye out. And I'm going to give this a spritz. I want to make sure I have as many bubbles out as I can. And then I'm going to start to use my tweezers and start to add them. Now, I am just going to dip that in there. Actually, it looks pretty good. I had a little bit of epoxy left on here just from a minute ago, so I thought maybe I could do it, and it did come off, so good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of these and I'm going to put them around. So I have to decide how I want them to be. Now keep in mind the square. I want to make sure that it's squared up. That's going to go into the mold that way. So I'm going to pick these purple ones, I guess. So you can see I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it upside down. Now you have to remember to try not to move them around a real lot, because they will break apart. They are very fragile. So you just have to kind of nudge them, but not get too crazy. Because I've had them like disintegrate. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to do the same with the next one. And I'm going to put them in the same area. Actually, I wanted them that way. Oh, I blew that out of the water, didn't I? Whoops. This is actually in the wrong spot. So I'm just going to move these very gently, because this, I want one to be on each side. Let's see this one. Okay. Now, because that's sharp, if you're poking and poking with that, it will make them disintegrate. So I'm just going to use this and just give it a little bit of a push. And then you might see some bubbles that had been trapped under there come up, So I'm just pushing this down so that it's to the bottom. Now I don't want to move it around or anything, because then it's getting more fragile now that it's in the epoxy even. And you see how the epoxy is starting to kind of crawl up the side of it. That's what we want. We don't want to like mess with it too much. Okay, let me move that back. Okay. Now I'm going to take the yellow daisy. I'm going to put that in the middle. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. Right in the middle. Use this. Try not to, you know, break the petals. There we go. And I push down in the middle and kind of go from the middle out. Middle out. And this way, any bubbles that are in there, you can see them, they're coming out. Okay, and then just make sure that's kind of in the middle. And then come over and do this one. Same thing. You're going to push this down in the middle and go from the middle out. Just to get any bubbles that might be trapped. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we'll see what else we have. I do kind of like this, so I'm going to put that right in there, like that. Let me make sure I have the right side. So if you look at it, you can see which side is the right side. I want to make sure that I have the right side facing. I'm going to do the same with the next one. Just drop that right in there. And now I think, I'm trying to think of, do I want to put just little bits, which I could, of these. Whoop. And then just make sure that they're facing the right way. Ooh, that went right in. Perfect. And I'll move them around more, you know, once I get more of them in place. Because you know, once it starts to, oh, look at this little mess we got going on here. So that means my table probably is no longer level. Okay, so I just turned it. We'll see what happens. But the good, the bad, and the yikers. There you go. Whoop. I'm just going to put one there. Whoop. There. Okay, great. Now I'm just going to take this guy and move this around a little, just to kind of give him the same look. Okay. I think I want to pull these petals off, but I'm afraid they're going to rip. Well, maybe not. Here we go. I like the, you know, because it looks so delicate. I like that look to it. And this would be cute, like anywhere really, like in a bedroom, you know, bathroom even, like wherever you'd want to put it up on a little shelf somewhere. You can go anywhere because he's with us everywhere. Just saying. All right, cool. See what I mean? It's kind of, it gets a little messy. I'm going to take that little tiny seed out of there. Okay. Move these around a little bit. They almost look like feathers. I like them. Waste not, want not. There we go. Now I have more over here. I'll do the same inside the cross itself. I'm trying not to like grab the yellow so that I don't end up with all those seeds in there. But you can see, you can do all different kinds of things. It just depends on what you like. I mean, I know that sometimes I'll make something and I'll be like, yeah, that's not what I thought. And then, you know, but I'm learning as I go. You know, and it's important that you learn and not, you know, be worried. Because we all need to learn as we go. Whoop. That's not the one I want. I thought I had a better one. I bent my tweezers. So you can see it's a little sticky and stuff, but when it's all done, it'll be great. I'm trying to just throw these in as quick as I can. My gloves are like sticky, so it's everything is sticking to me. And you know, as I said, I'm learning, you know, so feel free if you ever wanted to, you know, just drop me a message or whatever. You know, if there's anything that I can help you with, of course I will. You know, and we can learn together. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of these and move them around up here. Let's get this guy. But see how it sticks to it? It's a little tricky sometimes. Okay. And I just want this to, like, you know, just have some petals down through the center. And one little seed there. Let's see if I can, darn it. All right, that doesn't want to go in, okay. Okay, and we got this one here. Okay. Good, they all look good. Okay, perfect. So now let me get rid of this. Just made it worse. So I'm going to take the rest of what I have in here, and I'm probably going to be able to fill those. But I do think I'm going to put a little bit of that gold fleck in here, because I think it needs that. So let me see. Not a lot, just enough to give it a little bit of that gold look. Okay, so it's really not as much as it looks. So I'm just gonna, I want to chop it up a little bit, and then this will go on top of those flowers, and it should, you know, sink to the bottom a little bit. I can feel that this is getting warm, so I gotta get it in there. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna start to pour this in there. Do the same here. So let me grab one of these. And you can see how much is still left in there. I don't want to waste any of it, so I'm going to just put this right in there. Okay. Now we have this right here, so I'm going to use it. Give it another little spin just in case. I'm going to have to re-level my table, it looks like. Okay, so you see we got like a big chunk there. I want to just break that up a little bit. Put some over here. Okay. use this guy. I'm going to make sure that all of these flowers, all the petals and everything are in the epoxy. Okay. Sorry, it's a snoozer. There we go. I wish I had like about 10 cc's more, but it's not looking like it. So let me just see if I can get just a smidge more. I think that'll do. Okay. Alrighty. So that's that. And I just want to take a look and make sure that the gold fleck is, you know, throughout it. So there's a little, let me put that in there. Okay, cool. All right, so that's what we're going to do for today. When I go to demold them, I'll definitely post that as well, so you'll get to see what they look like. I hope they come out well. I haven't used this mold yet, so we'll see. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.